Good night, y'all. Good night, good night, good night. It looks like we are rolling. Good night, family. Good night. Let me just type in right here from my computer. Good night. Let me put my good night right here in the chat. Good night. All right. Good night, Shelly. Good night, Erica. Good night, y'all. Good night, good night, good night. All right. Here we go. Good night. See? So nice to have you guys joining me tonight. Really do appreciate you guys coming in tonight to chat with me. Tonight, we are going to be talking about the malignant narcissist. So, if you guys have never been with a malignant narcissist, well, stay tuned because we are definitely going to talk about them tonight. Hang tight. And not only that, I'm a little bit under the weather. If you guys haven't heard it, I am a little bit under the weather. So please hang tight with me as we get through our night tonight. And are you guys excited? Like, it's Thanksgiving next week. Are you guys ready for Thanksgiving? Because it came so fast. It really came so quickly. And not only that, these narcs are going to be out here hoovering. These narcs are going to be out here trying to find ways either how to make your Thanksgiving horrible, how to make your Thanksgiving be a bad one and have a bad experience because of what they have done. So listen, do not let them get in the way. Like, please, the hoovers are going to come. It's cold outside, so it's cuffing season. They want to be tied up with someone. They want to be hooked up with someone. Do not buy into it. These people, they do not change. They didn't change yesterday, and they're not going to change today. Okay? So, without further ado, again, welcome back to my channel. Yes, it's your girl, Nessa. And if you are new to my channel, welcome to the Healing Your Silence family. I know some of you guys might be watching this on the replay, and some of my family were here live in the chat where this is where we talk about stuff and we go back and forth and share things together. Um, this on this channel, this is where we dive deep into unhealed wounds and we deal with these wounds that has left us broken, and this will give us an opportunity to work on becoming whole again. So that's the purpose of this channel, and my goal is to empower you to become in your greatest self. That's my job. And if you found that this information is useful, please like, share, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment in the comment section below, and don't be afraid to join us, come back, share this information with anyone that you know, because our goal is to help you to better yourself and not to be ashamed of what you went through and to understand that it's okay. It could have happened to anyone and it happened to you. So live in your truth, live in your experience, and let's talk about it because it is shameful, but there's really nothing to be ashamed of. We've all had our experiences. Now it's a process that we want to heal from it. So join us here live every Friday night. Yes, every Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we can have these conversations. So join in the live, join in our conversation. And without further ado, right, the only way to heal and the only way to get out of this thing is for us to go in. So let's just dive right into it and let's just get the ball rolling on this one tonight. So I don't know if you guys could maybe give me a show of hands in a comment or type a yes if you've been with a malignant narcissist. And I'm not sure if you guys know what to look out for with a malignant, or if you guys even know the difference with one. Well, if you don't know, the malignant narcissist is by far the worst. They are so bad that it's a narcissistic personality and traits, and it's combined with a sociopath. So it's a combination of a sociopath and a narcissist. So they have the narcissistic traits combined with a sociopath. So this is someone who really challenging and really hard to deal with. Hi, Miss Cole. Welcome. Good night. This is one of the most, like, I want to say horrible, but I don't think horrible is the best word to describe them. I think it need catastrophic, a tornado. I think about a tornado when I think about a malignant narcissist. Like, they're just completely a train wreck, right? So tonight we're just going to go over just 5 simple signs, just 5 simple steps and ways to identify if you're dealing with a malignant narcissist. So the first one is that they're destructive. And I know it sounds simple, right? But they're sadistic. They're sadistic kind of people because they love when you cry. They love when you cry and they love to see you cry. So they'll do things and they'll hurt you. They will hurt you just for you to cry in order for them to be there to comfort you. But it's not really a comfort. They get pleasure and satisfaction watching you cry. They're dangerous. They are deadly. They are by far one of the most deadliest narcissists, the malignant narcissists. They will drag you through the mud. When I say drag you, they will drag you literally by your hands or your feet. They will drag you literally. They'll hurt you in such a way where the sociopath part of them, it's almost mental. Like, you don't even understand and know how it's happening when they start to make you go crazy. Like, it's just this mental World War wind that happens and you can't even recognize it. But guess what's happening though? They're watching you cry. They're watching you cry. They see how much this hurts you. They see how much you're in pain, and they see how much you are broken, but it gives them so much pleasure to watch you sit there in pain, to watch you be broken. And now, because you have destroyed all your relationship with other people, now who you're going to turn to for comfort? Them. Who you're going to turn to for support? Them. So they enjoy watching you cry, watching you in pain, watching you suffer, literally suffer. But it's right there to quote unquote comfort you when it's really not comfort. They get so much pleasure. It gives them joy. It gives them a sense of high. Like, it's such a relief and pleasure for them just to watch you in pain, just to watch you cry. It gives them joy and you're in pain. They laugh at your pain. They smile when they see that you're in pain. It brings them joy. It brings them happiness. It brings them pleasure. They would watch you suffer and smile. In the background, they're just sitting there looking at you and laughing like it's funny because this is how abusive they are. But in order to be satisfied and feeling within themselves, they have to find a way to torture you. They have to find a way to make sure that you're in enough pain where they're happy about the pain that you're in. And they're having a lot of pleasure from this pain that you're in, right? I'm going to read a comment here, right? It says here from Chelly. Good night, Chelly. Welcome. Good night. Good night, Chelly. I had frozen shoulder, and on the way to the ER, he punched me in the shoulder and dislocated it. On the way to the ER and laughed about it. Now, you see this? Like, do you guys really, are you guys seeing this and reading these comments? This is a malignant narcissist. And if you dealt with one of these people or things, whatever we want to define them as, because this is not human. This is heartless. This is cold. This is sick, beyond sick. And this is how they treat you. They want to see you in pain. And because you've been so locked and hooked with them that you don't know how to not accept this. You know they're evil. And you're probably looking at them like, are you serious? You see my shoulder is hurting and I'm in pain. And look at what you're doing to me. You actually punch me in it to make it worse. Because we're normal, we're looking at it like something got to be wrong with you. In reality, they're so dislocated mentally that they don't think anything is wrong with this. They don't think there's anything wrong with what they're doing. So they continue to do it to you because it brings them pleasure. And the thing is that they're going to remind you that they went to the hospital with you. So forget about what they did to you because they're going to downplay it. They're going to remind you that they went to the hospital with you and they were there by your side through all the tough times, through every painful things that you were going through. They're going to remind you that they were there with you the entire time. So forget about that. They're the one who caused you pain. They're the one who put you in this painful position. Forget about that. But they're just going to make sure that they remind you that just in case, I've always been there by your side. I've been to the hospital with you. I've been there to support you. I've always been there for you. And this is how you're going to treat me. Now you're going to walk away, leave me. They're going to guilt trip you into staying to continue to abuse you. No, none of this is healthy. None of this is all right. Like, absolutely not. They will watch you suffer, beat you, and then take you to the hospital after they finish beating you. This is how cruel these malignant narcs are. And if you don't learn how to recognize these people, you will think it's just a simple thing. It is not simple. It starts small because in order to control you, that's where the sociopath of them, because remember, they have the narcissistic traits combined with the sociopath. So it's a combination. So you have it double. You have a hammer. You have it full blown. So what you're dealing with and what you're facing is really detrimental. But in order to get you hooked, they have to start off with the sociopath part of it, where they'll abuse you mentally and do some joke. Like it would be like a subtle joke, but it's not a joke, it's an insult. It's not a subtle little conversation. They'll slowly insult you because that's how they get in your head mentally. That's how they mentally capture you, because a lot of times we can't understand, how do we get so caught up in this? How do we get so tied up in a situation like this? Like this is, we're too smart. We're too intelligent to be so head deep into this situation and can't seem to pull ourselves out. Well, if you don't understand what you were dealing with and you don't know how to recognize these things, you will be left with these unanswered questions. Hence the reason we are here to talk about it and to be open, because it's necessary to go deep into these wounds. And I know sometimes it might be traumatizing for you guys to relive it, but you need to free yourself from it. So in order to free yourself from it, we have to go in. We have to go in and talk about the traumatic times. Talk about the times where they beat you badly. Talk about the time when you had a busted face, busted here, busted there. We have to talk about it because it is necessary. We covered it for so long. We kept it quiet for so long. We didn't talk about it. We didn't seek the proper help and treatment for it. So we're doing it here. We're doing it now. So let's start to go ahead and take this serious, because it is serious. This has left us mentally distraught, mentally damaged. And this is important for us to now start the healing process, start this healing journey, and go about it the way that is right. Because you're going to go in it. You're going to go in it. They will bring you to the place of this. Listen, the malignant narcissist is the one that you don't want to be with anyone. But if you've encountered a malignant narcissist, boy, I feel your pain. I was with one and I feel my own pain. So when I'm telling you things, I'm not telling you because I don't know. I've had a malignant. So that means I've gone through the stages of how they operate to be a malignant. And that's real serious. They target you in a sense where, so you have a favorite pocketbook. I was talking to one of my girlfriends this week and telling her about a pocketbook that I have. And take care of myself. And I'm sure many of you ladies or men out there, because this is both men and women, you take care of yourself. So there's certain things that are personal items for you. When you have a malignant narcissist, your personal items is a target for them, because a lot of times the things that they want to do to you, they're not able to do it because they still need to maintain some form of being normal. So what they'll do, they'll take your things and they'll destroy it. They'll take your prized possessions and destroy it. The malignant narcissist is by far the worst. Okay? A lot of times when I do these lives, I do not get this loud. But I feel as if I need to be loud to get this point across, because these ones are not to be played with. Leave. You have to disengage yourself from these people. Like, these ones are not ones for you to be around at all. At all. I remember walking in the house one day from work with the kids, and everything in the house was destroyed. All the TVs were broken. All the TVs were broken. I have a Vitamix that I use for my own health reasons, for healthy habits. I love healthy lifestyle. My Vitamix was busted on the floor. My personal dresser was damaged. Everything for me was broken, was destroyed, was damaged. They will intentionally make sure that things that are personal to you gets destroyed. He would take my Louis Vuitton pocketbooks and rip them, literally rip them into pieces and put it in the trash. No, I'm not telling you to be hung up on material things. It's not about the material things, but you've worked hard for your things. You've provided things for yourself. And now to see them come and just to destroy you, like, just because they're looking at it like, if I can't get to destroy you the way I want, I know this means something to you. So I'm going to destroy it, because if I got to hurt you one way or the other. And then as soon as they're done with that, they want to smile with you. They want to laugh with you because they think it's funny. Like I said before, it gives them pleasure. It gives them satisfaction. It gives them a sense of belonging. They feel relevant. They feel important. They feel as if they are superior and they just won. But what did you win? But let me tell you something. And I know I said we're going to go over 5 of the things to be able to recognize them. And I know this destruction one, I think it pretty much covers everything, but we're still going to talk because they're all intertwined together. When you are really dealing with one of these people, my advice to you would be get out, stay out, get far away from them. The further you get away from them, the better. And I know you're probably thinking that, I've invested so much into this relationship. And I've invested in so many things. And I've invested and I want to be here and you don't want to leave because you're looking at your investment. But let me tell you, at some point, you're going to have to cut your losses. You're going to have to cut ties, because think about walking into a house that was completely destroyed, in shambles. In shambles. And to make matters worse, and I'm going to be very specific. Sorry, I couldn't get my words out because this is my personal experience. Okay. So I'm going to be very specific. When I walked in the house and I saw everything destroyed, broken, it looks like the house was robbed, literally was robbed, and it wasn't. And he was drunk, drinking on top of it. And I walked in and peeked inside the house without letting the kids see it, because I just felt it. And this is what it was like for me going home daily, peeking in the house first before I get in, because I didn't know what I was going to walk into. I did not know what it was going to look like walking in the door at times. And this particular night, I peeked in the house before, and it's a good thing I did that because I had to let the kids sit in the car in the driveway and go inside in order to start helping him to clean up. You hear that? Hey, Connie Barnes. Hey, Max. Good night, Demetria. I had to go inside to kind of help him clean up because I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do with the kids? How do I bring the kids inside into this disaster? What do I do? And while I'm inside trying to help him to clean up a little bit really quickly, he goes to pull down the pantry so that it could fall on me. And I'm like, what's wrong with you? Chill. What's the problem? Pulling down the pantry so that it will fall on me. Like I said, these malignant narcissists, you do not want to be near them at all. At all. Imagine you destroy this place and I'm here to help you straighten it up. Like it's not even my responsibility. But covering for them, that's what we're good at doing. We're very good at covering for the narcissist. We're very good at covering and not bringing things to the surface to deal with it. And that's why we were left in these situations for so long because we kept covering. They knew what they were doing to us is wrong. It's very intentional. They're very strategic. They're very intentional in the things that they do, and they know that it is hurting you, and that's why they do it because they intended to hurt you. That's their whole intention, is just to hurt you. So when you sit and you're staying in these situations, you are hurting yourself more. You are hurting yourself more. So it's really important for you to not want to be in any situations like this. Walk out of it, leave. Leave and don't be there with them at all. Hold on one second, guys. My apologies. There you go. Okay. Leave out of these situations because you do not want to be in anything with them at all. They're destructive. They are absolutely the worst to deal with. Another thing that I want you guys to be able to look out for with these type of narcissists, right? Is their rage. It's something about them when they're in rage, and I don't understand why. But if you pay close attention, you'll be able to see that for some reason, they're just constantly in rage. Why are they always in rage? It's a different level of rage that you just can't seem to get it. But their level of aggression, their level of rage, they're always fuming and they're angry. But these are some things that we can spot them in the beginning. Remember, watch how they operate because they will leave little droplets, little crumbs behind, but we have to pay close attention to it. We have to be the one to take a look at these things and to see that these are some crumbs and hints that they're leaving behind for us, right? I'm going to post another comment here before I move on. Miss Coate says, was was a horrifying process, and I'm so great. What? I am so grateful for the leaving and getting over the trauma bond. Now, I'm happy that you brought that out. I think that's really necessary to see that. Let me see. Okay, this thing was messing up. Okay, I'm very happy to see that you took the time to get out of it, and to walk through your healing journey. That trauma bonding is unhealthy. It is toxic. It's devastating being in any trauma bond with them. And that's what we are doing. The longer we stay with them, the longer we stay in these unhealthy, toxic relationships, is the more broken we become. The more broken we become because their job is to tear you down. And I don't know if any of you guys remember feeling like you've hit rock bottom. If you remember feeling like you've hit rock bottom, Just type a yes in the comment section below. Just I'm gonna type my yes. That's what I'm doing right now. Hold on. I'm gonna type my yes in the comment section below, because if you remember that you've hit a complete rock bottom, and like your inside fell out, like you were, like a piece of you were broken out, like you couldn't go on for the next day, you couldn't carry on, you couldn't continue on, you felt like it was hopeless for you, you felt like your back was against the wall and there was no place else for you to go. If you've had that feeling before, you could go ahead and type yes in that comment section below. I've had that experience. I've had that experience. I felt like didn't know if I was going to make it through tomorrow, not know if I was going to make it to the next day. Can you imagine? You don't even know if the next day you were going to be around. You didn't even know you were going to make it to the very next day. These narcissists will destroy you and bring you down to zero. They get so much pleasure in watching you sit there and suffer. And while you're there suffering, guess what? They're nowhere to be found. They're not there to comfort you. They're not there to give you satisfaction, give you love, affection, attention. They're not there to do any of these things for you. And who do you think is sitting there broken? You are. You are sitting there broken. And guess what? The moment you're sitting there broken, you start thinking about another way how you're going to forgive them one more time. Maybe if I just forgive them one more time, this might be all right. Maybe if I do something a little bit different one more time, then things just might work out just fine. You cannot love life into them. You cannot love life into them. Okay? You can't. Their supplies, I see Shelly just uh, I see Shelly just made a comment in there. Hold on. Guys, guys, hold on. I do have a little surprise for you guys. Okay. I'm trying to get it together before I blow everything, but I do have a little surprise. Shelly says, yeah, because let me go ahead and put it up. She said, yeah, because they're with the new supply. Well, a lot of times, you're right. When they are with the new supply, they tend to abuse you different. They tend to make sure that you are broken on another level. You are broken on another level. Let me see. Turn. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I do have a special guest for you guys tonight, and I'm trying to get her to come in so she could, join in the conversation and talk with us tonight. Just hang out with us tonight. There she goes. Ladies, gentlemen, and all you guys that are here with us, we are going to have a special guest coming on, and I'll tell you, I'll give you a little bit of back information about her before I bring her in. We call her Auntie. Okay. So Auntie is going to come in and she's going to share with you a few things. So we're just going to have a conversation about the same thing. So I definitely wanted to make sure, at least before the month is over, I bring on a special guest monthly, right? So she's going to come on and she's going to share things with you guys, but I kept it a little secret. I know, a little sneaky, but all of us have had our experience with the narcissist, and it's not an area where we're doing a blame game or anything, but it's for us to be able to speak to each other, to uplift each other, and to encourage each other. And I remember watching Auntie go through her process. My first video watching her was seeing her with a few tears. And to be able to see her now where she looks absolutely gorgeous. And I don't want to spoil too much. I'm going to bring her on. I'm going to let her introduce herself. She's one of our influencers, a TikTok influencer. Yes, she is. And we've been communicating for probably some months now, about a year. I've been watching her and seeing some of the things that she do. She means well. And I know because she's She's had her experience. She's looking out for the younger generation. She is so passionate about seeing younger people do better. She's an advocate for the younger generation. And we're going to be doing more lives and coming on, okay? Because she is definitely a role model. Without further ado, I'm going to add her on. Welcome, welcome, Auntie.
Woo-hoo-hoo. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. And thank you for that awesome introduction. I don't know if I'm all that, guys. I'm just going to be honest, but I appreciate it. Can you guys hear me okay?
Guys, go ahead and just put a thumbs up in the chat if you can hear her just well. Just so she knows, because it's silent in our room, so we don't know a lot of times if you guys can actually hear, but I'm hearing you just fine.
Okay.
I'm just waiting to see. Yes, everyone is saying hello. Yes, they can hear you just fine. So
Okay,
yes.
cool. So I was kind of just I don't have really have anything planned for this evening to talk about, but I wanted to kind of listen in to see what you guys were actually talking about. Um, I hear some back. So is that me?
It might be my microphone. Is it like an echo back for you? So I'll try to mute in between and you let me know if it's okay, all right?
Okay, when I need you to pick up your mic, I'll let me get in front of the camera. I'll do this. Okay? All right. Okay, guys. So I kind of listened to what you all were talking about, and I'm going to assume that all of you at some point has encountered a narcissist. And we all know that. I hope we all know that there are different types of narcissists. I one of the reasons why I encourage people to talk about their experiences is because there are so many people that are not aware. I'm 61 years old. Just had a birthday last November the 6th. So, and I turned 61. Let me see if I can move up a little bit. I turned 61. I'm the lady that's always been married. I've been married multiple times. This last husband, I was married to him for 11 years. Married. We had been together for 15. I had no idea what a narcissist was. If it had not been for people talking about their experiences, I would have never known. You gotta remember, TikTok hasn't been around 10 years ago. I think 15 years ago. What was it back then? I can't even, MySpace. That was about it. So you didn't have all of this information. I've I've encountered some ladies that actually have psychology degrees, multiple psychology degrees, that were married to narcissists. They didn't know. So that's the first thing I want to tell you all. This is the reason why these types of platforms are so important to me. Because had it not been for some of the content creators, I would have had no idea what was going on with me and what my situation was. I'm also trying to make sure I keep up with some of your comments in the text as well. Um, but yeah, I had been with this gentleman for 15 years, like I said. He love bombed the hell out of me. I didn't even know what the damn love bomb was. Didn't know. I just thought I was having this amazing relationship and he was just my Prince Charming. That's all I knew. But the relationship quickly started to change. Now that I know what to look for, I can go back and I can see.
So let me ask you a question. What would you say are some of the things to look for? Because I think that's key to be able to see what are some of the things to look for to be able to spot a narc. Because I know we're talking about the malignant narc because they're the highest, the highest. So whatever you're able to help with that one.
My narcissist was not a malignant narcissist. He was a covert. And there are different types of narcissists. The first thing I'm going to tell you guys to do is read and research. You cannot overcome these situations without operating in awareness. You have to educate yourself, because if even going through your healing process of getting over this situation, There are millions of these people out there. You will encounter another one. And if you don't know what to look for, if you don't understand the behavior and the characteristics, you will repeat this cycle just like they do. Because another thing, I don't know how much time we got tonight, but it's another thing I'm going to tell you. You are a part of this cycle too. You are. And the reason why I can point my finger at you all, because I had to do that to myself. You know, what I speak to people about narcissism is about it's my personal experience. You know, you want to get better, you can't sugarcoat it. And you'll hear me say, who y'all don't have to forgive my damn language, but who the fuck you lying to, your damn self? At some point you have to own all of the things that went on in the relationship, and it's hard to swallow. It's hard to swallow, but you have to. So let me tell you some of the things that you need to look for when you encounter a narc. Guys, I can only speak for my experiences. The characteristics of this disorder are the same, so it should be the same whether it's a male or a female. Depending on the type of narcissist that you're dealing with, they always have this grandiose, entitlement, and most of them do. Some of them just think they the smartest people in the world, and they not. Because they just better than anybody else. They can outsmart anybody. They definitely smarter than you because you haven't seen through their behavior, and they already know they have an agenda, and you ain't figured it out yet. So hey, they smarter. Oh my gosh, you done blew me up, and y'all see all of my messy office, but that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. I'm redoing my office, guys, so hang with me. But yeah, they have these. Narcissism has these characteristics and personality behaviors, and if you don't know what to look for, you'll never pay attention to it. In the beginning, they overwhelm you with this affection. I thought this man was just. I was Cinderella. Everything, everything I did, he adored. When I say everything, everything about me, everything, whether it was good or bad, it didn't matter. It was just perfect. I was perfect. I was perfect. And no fucking body, excuse me, but nobody is that perfect, baby. But when you caught up in the moment and you looking for that love and affection, and guys, like I say, when you're looking for that love and affection, this man loving me better than I have ever had anybody to ever, 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 ever. You get caught up with it. You do. That's how the love bombing works. That's how it love bombing works. But the problem with that is most of them confess this type of stuff way too early. Way too early. They always got a sad story. They always do. There's always a reason why something has happened to them or why they're in this point in their life. It's never their fault. When you start to listen to them talk about their history and things that have gone on, if you pay attention when you start, let me tell you what I asked mine when I met him and I started dating him. Guys, I ain't saying I'm the smartest lady, but I'm far from being the stupidest. I'm gonna be honest. I'm far from being the stupidest. One of the things I asked him when I met him, he went on to tell me about his ex-wife, and that's a whole nother story. Y'all ain't got time for that story tonight. But his ex-wife, which turned out not to be an ex-wife, but nevertheless, all of the horrible things about his ex-wife and what she did, and she was the worst. And I sat there and I listened to everything he said about this girl. And then when he finished, I asked him, now tell me what you did in the marriage. Tell me what you did. Because you told me everything she did. You did something. Women that's in happy marriages don't just do all of the stuff that you're telling me they just do. What did you do? He sat there and could not come up with one single thing. Not one. Guys, I ain't know nothing about no red flags. That should have been a red flag. I didn't know. I didn't know. He was a nice guy. And he was saying all the right things, doing, and not just saying all the right things, doing all the right things. Yeah, they exuberate all of this over amount of affection. The I love you comes very quickly. The I love you comes very quickly. Red flag, baby, pay attention. Pay attention to their relationships, not just with you, but again, with the past relationships and how they engage with their family. Most narcissists cannot maintain relationships, and I don't care what level they're on, work, um, children, mates, they can't do it. Friends, they have very few friends. They have very few. And the friends that they do have, they might capture a few childhood friends, but most of the times they cannot maintain relationships up close and personal because they always in chaos. It's a constant. Um, Accountability was another one. Oh my God, accusations. That's another one. You know, they it's documented that the accusations that they make are really them telling on themselves. Some of them, depending on which narcissist you're dealing with, that violent temper. Um, and it comes out at the craziest times. You know, parties, events. My biggest issue, what you know, see how she nodding her head. See, this is why these platforms are so good, guys. Those are the things you need to pay attention to. Don't be scared to just ask questions. Um, when I started my healing journey, I went back to the beginning of my relationship. That was the first video that I ever made. And I tell people that go back to the beginning. You know, people say, oh, yeah, we throw that term narcissist around, so easily. It's very, very few of us, very few have actually had a diagnosis from a professional. Because, for one, it's hard to get them to go to therapy. I went to therapy with my narcissist. We went for an affair that he had way before this last situation that caused us the divorce. Yeah, I thought I was working through infidelity with just a normal jackass husband. I really did. I didn't know he was a narcissist. We went to a therapist that was pinpointing that stuff. That lady knew, but he would not go back. We went to one visit, and baby, he was determined he wasn't going back to see her. That lady knew. She knew. It took me all these years. That was back in 2014. It took me all this time to figure out what was going on. I always knew something was off a little bit, but I just did not really know what exactly it was. Yeah, most of them were. I know I got a couple of people. Another lady that I think is going to be a guest also at some point in the future. She's going to talk about her experience. She was married to a different type of narcissist, and she went to counseling, and the therapist told her, yes, he's a narcissist. And she didn't know what it was either. She got an MBA. She was like, okay, can you give him some medicine to fix it? Not knowing, thinking that when you don't know, you don't know. But yeah, yeah, the same types of scenarios, the same types of situations. You will see as you start to communicate on platforms just like this, you will start to see. Somebody said, especially funerals, baby, I done been through them all. Look, I probably could be a guest up here every week and still not finish my story. That's just how deep my story gets. That's just how deep. Pay attention to the relationship they have with their kids. Most of that crap is fake. I'm telling you, it is fake. It is it's fake.
Is
It's
it
fake.
still echoing right now, or am I echoing?
Um, Not as bad when you have not as bad.
Okay. Because I just want to be able to reach you easier. And if you want it to be more, conversational, just to
Yeah,
kind of,
we can talk about whatever topics you want to. I don't
just
want to
want to
just
make sure
kind of
that
lead
you're
the
okay.
show because you guys were already chatting about
We're
some
a
things.
family. Listen,
Let's see. You wanted to talk
Auntie, we
about some
are
of
a
the traits and
family.
characteristics. I don't know if you guys were more interested in knowing about what I had to say, or what about my own personal experiences versus me trying to contribute to what you all were already talking about.
We were really diving into how the malignant narcissist is, because the narcissist has their own traits. They have their own traits. And we already know, most of us should say, not all of us, but most of us knows all their traits already. So it's adding on to it with the sociopath part of it, because the malignant narcissist is a combination of both. So they already have all these narcissistic traits, and then you add on a sociopath onto it. Now that's a malignant narcissist. That's exactly how you describe them. And for me, that's like a tornado, a world war.
Absolutely. But like I say, guys, the guy that I dealt with, he was not a malignant narcissist. But there's another guest that's going to be coming on. And I don't want to tell her
We're
story.
excited.
I am. When I tell you these two ladies have a difference, and it's amazing because when we sit down to communicate, we can talk about so many things that occurred similar because the behavior is the same. It does not matter. The behavior is the same because you have to remember it's a disorder. It's a disorder, and it doesn't matter who the person is.
Right. So I'm just going to post a comment here from Miss Coat. She says, malignants are so empty internally. Would you
I,
agree?
I would
All
agree
of
that
them.
all of them are. You have to remember, guys, if I could give you anything tonight, what I'm going to tell you is definitely educate yourself on who these people are. Somebody just mentioned a pattern. Guys, that's the reason why I say, that's the reason why I said when I started my healing journey, I went back to the beginning. I didn't just look at what I was going through. I looked at the lady before me.
Yes.
When I
So
came,
important.
when I really, when I could get myself together through the trauma bond and really started to focus on it,
Mm-hmm.
I looked at the lady before me. He did the exact same thing to her when I came on the
Ooh.
set. When I tell you it was exact, then I backed up
Mm.
and I looked at the one before her. See, that's how you can tell.
Ooh, that's
People
how
say
you
that we throw
know.
people say we throw that term narcissist around.
You don't.
Well, a lot of us do. I'm going to say that a lot of us do. But when you go back, everybody is on. It's a spectrum. Everybody is on the spectrum. Everybody. The question is, where do you fall on the spectrum? Some of us are just over here at the beginning where we just a little bit controlling, and a lot of that, and some of that is, some of those characteristics and traits are good when they're in the right dosage, because those people make leaders. You need to have somebody that can take charge and be in control and can dictate. Well, I don't want to say dictate, but delegate and get things done. That's a healthy dose of it. But you
Right.
got people that's so far over where it becomes an issue in their day-to-day function in their life. Those are the people that we're
Right.
talking. Those are the
the
people.
the ones that are excessive, like it's not a healthy balance. Because
Right.
and it's not to say control your partner, but if I have more insights on this area, or I'm more knowledgeable here, then I could point us in the right direction. I could maybe take the lead on this. But it's a healthy balance where you can also take the lead on something and we balance each other. But these people, there's no sharing the platform. There's no
Yeah.
sharing.
Yeah, my narcissist, like I said, and so I've noticed someone said that their narcissist they didn't get a diagnosis from the therapist for them. The therapist diagnosed her. Sweetie, mine's happened the same way, because when we broke up and when I started going through the trauma bond, I didn't understand what the heck was going on with me. I couldn't stop crying. My emotions were all over the place. I mean, I was totally a wreck. Probably needed to be on somebody's medical ward. Mental. That's just how bad it was. It was bad.
You just feel like you're not even here, like you're
I don't.
floating.
It was like my whole world. It was like I was having an out of body experience. It was so bad that my family was so worried. A girlfriend came to take care of me. A girlfriend. I had to have somebody to come and take care of me. That's just how bad it was. Um, my daughter is in the mental health field. She has a degree in behavior analysis. She works with the court system. She's a certified behavior analysis. She was the one that really picked up on it, and she had told me. She says, "Mommy, I had been trying to diagnose him for years." Here's another thing. Pay
Mm,
attention to that controlling and that isolation. That was another, but see, I didn't know what it was. And I'm going to tell
see?
you how it came across for me. You know, I just wanted to be us. I just want to spend more time with you. I just want us to build our bond, and when you're in love with a person, that just, it sounds so good, and you love this person, you really do want to bond with them. But what they talking about is an unhealthy bond. You know, it's normal for husband and wives or mixed males and females in relationships to have outside interests without each other, without it being a knockdown, drag out. Every time you step away, you with someone else. You always cheating. That the accusations was horrible for me. I'm gonna tell you. So you might hear me constantly go back to it because that was one of the things we can't.
I just shut it off. Sorry, because I was gonna put a comment in the comment section. My
That was one of
apologies,
the
guys.
things. That was one of the things that he tore me down with. Tore me down. I mean, even to the point of overspilling into my work.
That was the worst. It's
Yeah,
when
because
you're
I
dealing
was
with them.
I was have
Oh my goodness,
I
they
used to try
destroy
to be
you. And
in the beginning. It's all and ladies, y'all know what I'm talking about. Yeah, what one thing you would listening to me, and I will call you out quickly. Don't lie to your damn self. In the beginning, we like stuff like that because it's cute in the beginning. Oh,
it
it
is.
is, you know. But there's something called excessive. Everywhere you go, you're going to see a man. On your job, you sleeping with everybody on your job. You have been accused. I've been accused of women.
I
You
couldn't go
accused
to
of
the gym. I
me
couldn't go to
either.
the gym.
Me either. And I was
I
just
was
thinking
sleeping with the
I was
person at
just
the
thinking
gym.
neither could I. And I've got a membership for both of us. And I used to when he was in the military, he used to weight train, and I'd be like, oh, come on and da 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 da, because I'm gonna be honest with you, my weight yo-yos at different points in my life. So trying to maintain my weight and live healthy, come on, let's go to the gym. He wouldn't go with me and didn't want me to go. When I would get up to go to the gym, oh, you just go, what is that the gym for you? Da, da, da. And now that I look back, those were just things to deter me from not going.
To control you.
It
It just
was.
control. Yeah.
It was.
And it's to isolate you because here what we're thinking, we're looking at it to say that, oh my gosh, he want to spend time with me. They
Yep,
want
you
to be
do.
with me so much. They always want to be with me. Like, and it's so flattering. No, it's unhealthy.
It is.
It's
And but
very unhealthy. But you
and
know what
see,
it
and I'm gonna
is?
tell you, you will start to
Go ahead.
discover, you will realize that it's unhealthy. I knew that when I say there were little things along the way, I knew something was wrong, but because, and y'all probably ain't ready to hear this, but because of your own issues, you just let things go on just to keep the peace, and you just give in. I did. That's why I didn't go to the gym. That's why my health deteriorated. I ended up getting really sick in this relationship, guys. I had 2 strokes in this relationship,
Mm,
and
mm.
that's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother story when I tell you I had a stroke and he left me. Did
Listen,
my girlfriend up and told her you need to go and check on her because he was off with one of his
one of his
sisters.
supplies. Yeah. Leave you there sick to go
Yeah,
with another supply after he done make you sick. That's how sick and twisted they are. But you know what?
and
You know
and
why we
people will
accept
ask
it?
me, and this is people will say, "Oh, how you know he made you sick? How you know it was really because of that?"
Mm-hmm. They wouldn't understand it. But you know what I look at it? When we're operating from a place of lack, we tend to accept the little crumbs that they give us because we're operating from a place of lack. So we're emotionally broken. We're emotionally distraught. So when they come to give us emotional supply, emotional support, it looks emotional, but because that's our area of lack and we're operating from a place of lack and desperation, but we don't see it as desperation and lack because we think they're there to comfort us. We think they're there to support us. We think they're there to be there for us. But in reality, it's us. It's our brokenness that we walk into this with. And they're looking at it that if you're here so broken and I'm naturally broken, how are you here with me? You must not, and then you trying to tell me every day that you're this big qualified person. You must not know your worth, do you? So I'm gonna
You know
sit
what?
here and I'm gonna tear you into pieces and I'm gonna break you down to its simplest form to make sure I destroy you.
It's
Mm.
amazing you said that because um guys, I got divorced in March, so it's coming up on a year. So and but even now going through things, I've been clean. My office looked like this because I'm cleaning my office and I'm changing my desk out. One of the things that I did is I got rid of everything out of the relationship, everything. And I ran across. I'm the person that keeps keepsakes from my children. I can probably pull out every Mother's Day card, birthday card, every card that my children have ever given me over the years, probably till they were in elementary school making spaghetti noodle necklaces. That's just who I am. And my husband as well, or ex-husband. And I ran across the card, and the card said something to that effect about you're still here. And I know I didn't take it, something about in the relationship, but we're still together. I was still there with him. And I thought about it when he gave me that card. I know I didn't take it in a negative way, but when I actually go back now, because I'm operating in awareness, and I think about
Mm.
the things that he said to me,
So heartless and
just like you
cold.
said, you ain't going
Mm.
nowhere. You still here. You,
You
I
still
might have been
here.
like, oh, baby, you still here because you love me, but he was like, yeah, you still here. You ain't going nowhere. I
Yeah.
can do whatever, and he did, and I let him.
But now looking back at it though, don't you realize that they told you straight up to your face that they was abusing you?
Yeah. Now,
Now
when you
looking
operate
back
in
at it.
awareness, and that's why I tell people when you go through your healing journey and go through therapy, even there's different stages to your therapy also. I'm going to share a document with you that I'm going to that you're going to be able to use for one of your shows. It's going to be awesome. It talks about the different 8 stages of healing, 7 stages of healing, and where you are in those
Nice.
stages. I didn't realize how many people were affected by that. Just that little piece of information I posted in the video went viral. But it basically talks about the different stages. Where you're something happens and you just happen to find out all this information and you come into awareness and the awkward stage where you just can't believe what's going on, and
Yeah.
denial and acceptance, and it's like I said, it's 7 different stages. um but yeah, I'm gonna share that information. I'm gonna share that information with you. But as you start to go through the different stages of your healing, there are different things that are going to occur with you, the individual. And one of the things that I tell people, after you educate yourself, understand the narcissist, understand the narcissist disorder, you've got to also address your issues in the cycle. You
Yeah.
also have to do that because if not, you will repeat it. I remember there was a girl on TikTok, beautiful girl. And she was, when she would do her intro to her videos, she would always say, introduce herself, hi, I'm da 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 da. And I have had multiple narcissistic relationships. And I was saying to myself, when I would hear her say that, I would be like, Darren, sister, you gotta be completely empty because I
Yeah.
know what just one did to me. I can
I
only
don't
imagine. But
I
yes,
couldn't do one more.
I'm not doing another one.
I could not do one, not
I'm
one.
not
You
doing
couldn't
it.
pay
This
me to
was
do
my
one
first,
more.
and this will be my last because I understand. Like I say, I read so much. My therapist asked me to start reading. I was coming to therapy telling him, look, yeah, this will never happen to me again. And one of the reasons I can say that is because I also went back and I had to look at myself. Why? How? Because all of us ask this. How did this happen to me? How did I let this person treat me like? Tell me everybody didn't say that. If you tell
Listen,
me you didn't say that, you're lying.
right.
If
And then
you
look what
tell me
someone
you
just
didn't
posted.
say that, you're lying. Everybody
Right.
said it. I'm so ashamed. I was
How
so
did this
ashamed.
happen?
How did this happen to me? How did I
And
let
look,
this
doesn't it
look?
affect the children
How
too?
did I let this jackass treat me like this? He ain't even all. He ain't none of that. I was the one that was all that. Tell me y'all haven't said that. Tell me you
Mm-hmm.
haven't.
I did. Let me type my I did in I did. Let me type it. I did.
You have
I
to go
did.
back and answer that question. You do. You don't just get past the narcissist and Because when you just get past the narcissist without addressing yourself, the only thing you're doing is getting over a heartbreak. That's it. You just getting over the heartbreak. There's enough time and distance between the two of you. Some of you all get caught back in the cycle. That's how they bring you back in. But those of you that do cut them off, all you doing is getting over a heartbreak. That's it. And some of you all will be forced to get over the heartbreak, because if you were not, and guys, please don't be offended, but if you were not grade A supply, baby, if he found grade A supply, meaning somebody that can supply him better than you don't even matter. So he ain't even gonna backtrack on you. I'm gonna tell you that right now. He ain't gonna backtrack because you have to remember, all he wants is supply. That's it. And if it's just like your job, you go to work now and make $25 an hour, and then there's another job want to pay you 50. Come over here. Which one you going to? Same thing. Is you looking back at the $25 an hour job? Nope. The only way he might look back on the $25 an hour job is for some reason he get fired from the $50 an hour job.
That's it.
He ain't looking back. Now, if he ain't got nobody better than you, or if you allow, or he sees that he can still get things from you, and you let him maneuver back and forth, yeah, that's when they hover you and suck you back in, and you get caught up in the cycle. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I hate to say it, because there's a term for that, and it's called recycle supply. And baby, I think that's the worst of all. I think that is the worst of all. Why would I want to be recycle supply? Put me on the shelf, and then when things don't go their way, they come back and get me. No, and there are people that do that. The guest that's coming on is going to talk about there was a recycle supply in her situation. And when I say recycle, this lady been recycled with this man has recycled her through 2 or 3 wives. He would put her on the shelf and he would marry somebody else, because she's not pretty enough. She doesn't fit the description. She doesn't, she's not pretty enough. She's not smart enough. She didn't have enough income. She didn't fit the look, that he needed on his arm. He has married 2 or 3 women in between her. And when things go wrong in relationships, he go back and get her.
Go back and use her.
Drag her around.
Go back and use her.
That's exactly what happened. Because these people
need
a lot of ego stroking.
I put this up earlier for you, Auntie. Are you and the they're really asking, does this affect the children's mental health as well too?
Absolutely. These are dysfunctional and unhealthy relationships. Okay, are you talking about, when you start talking about kids? And guys, see, I don't have any children with my narcissist, but he had children. And I paid attention to the relationships that he had with his kids. Totally different than me with my children. As a matter of fact, my relationship with my children was an issue for him. He always tried to create some type of wedge. Now that I go back and look, and that isolating me from my kids. Yeah. As far as the relationship with the children, they don't love them kids. They don't love their children. Narcissists do not love in the sense of normal and healthy people. Guys, I'm going to tell you, first thing you got to do is stop thinking about them as a person. You have to stop thinking about them as a person. This is a narcissist. Now, unfortunately, the narcissist happens to be a person, but just always, through your healing journey, just think of them as a narcissist, and they have this disorder. You're going to always have to remind yourself of that, because the mental and the heart takes a minute to finally catch up and get it together, because of the extensive time of the abuse. But yeah, don't think of it. Always think about the characteristics and the behavior of what the disorder says it's going to do, and it does. There's no way all of you on this timeline, or all of you posting in this chat, could have the exact same experiences with all of these different people. That's the first thing that I noticed. How can all of us be having the same experience with different people? Guys, I had people to hit me up and say, I never have spoke my narcissist name. If you don't know me, you'll never know who he is. People hit me up in the DM. I got that right, the DM. I call it the whisper. I call it the whisper. I'm old, guys. Yeah, they hit me up and they'll ask me, what's his name, so and so and so? You live in my life. That sounds just like mine did the same thing. You sure you?
You sure you didn't mess with
There's
the same one that I did?
That's what
Like,
they say.
how
It's
can we all be dating the
impossible.
same
It's
person?
impossible for all of us to have these same experiences with these different people for it not to be real. And and I hate to say it,
Exactly.
yeah, guys, have you detached from your emotions, sweetie? Let me
Mm.
tell you about the emotional. That's why I say there's different phases to your healing when you say detach from your emotions. You have to go through certain parts of it. Have I gotten through the trauma bond? Yes. I sleep well at night. I eat probably a little bit too much. um I'm enjoying life. I even date a little bit.
Ooh, what is it like dating after a narcissist?
Scary. Scary. I will tell you that. It's scary. It's scary. But one of the things, like I said, guys, I could have never gotten to this point without my therapist, and going through doing the work that I needed to do for myself. But when you say, do I detach from the emotions, that can mean a lot of different things. I'm never gonna not be angry. Anger is an emotion that I choose to hold on to because it drives me. That's just who I am. This doesn't work for everybody else.
No,
Anger,
and I say
anger
it
is a
because
motivator and a driver for me.
I was gonna
My
say it's not
anger,
always unhealthy.
right,
It's
because it's an
excessive.
emotion, right.
Right, right.
My anger drives me to make me better. My anger made me get up every morning at 4 o'clock in the morning and go to the gym for a whole year, and I lost 58 pounds. My anger is what drives me to continue to go because now I'm heavy lifting because I've been so weak from having those 2 strokes that I never had a chance to rebuild my strength and my body back up. You know, that anger drives me to work a little hard in the little side business that I started. So
Nice.
that anger also made me make sure that this was never going to happen to me again.
Right.
That anger also made me want to tell my story so that other women would
Mm.
be aware. So anger, I didn't use anger. I don't use it in a bad way. Um, Forgiveness, I don't forgive. No, there's no forgiveness for this person. Um,
Mm.
and yes, I have
That's
moved on.
that's tough because one of the things that helped me is that I forgave him. Not for him, but I forgave him for me because I wanted to be free of that piece. That's a part of the healing piece that you got to release them. It's beautiful when you get to do that. It's a burial, it's a funeral, it's releasing that person. And you are, when you understand that, it's when you see it spiritually, when you understand that this is a spiritual attack, this is a spirituality, when you start looking at it from that angle, you learn to release them. It's not saying to forget about your experience and give them a pass or give them a pat on the back, because I'm going to talk about what happened to me. I'm going to share my experience. I'm not going to deny what happened, because what you're doing to me, and it's the souls out here, this is happening to other people. We're going to talk about it because we're going to expose you and we're going to bring what you're doing to the front so that we could save other people. But I realized that I was carrying you still. And I don't want to be carrying you. There should be no part of you left back in me. You understand? So that's why I forgave him. And I forgave him because when you start to look at it from a different perspective, they're empty. They're soulless. They're pathetic. They have no destination. They have nothing. And guess what? I won because you came in to rob, kill, steal, and destroy. You came in to destroy me. So, guess how I look at it? I came face to face with the devil, and he had to back down and leave me alone. So, guess what? I won. And me walking in my freedom and my victory, I feel like a boss. I feel like a real boss. Let me get New York on you right now, right? I feel like a real boss knowing that you came to do a job and you couldn't even finish that job.
You had to go back to who sent you to hurt me unfinished. Go deal with your punishment. Go deal with your failure. Go deal with your you are not worth anything. And that's why you came to me, because you see what I have in me. You see my value. You see my worth. You see the good in me. And you decided you wanted to run up on me. So you saw me as a competition. You saw me way up here. That means that you're reminding me of how much I'm worth it. And you are nothing and you want to be like me. So you're hurting me to pull me down, but you failed. You failed at trying to break me and destroy me. So here what I'm going to do. I'm going to forgive you because now you're going to watch me grow. Now you're going to be around to watch me be successful. Now you're going to be around because in the Bible it says he's going to prepare a table before my enemies. So guess what? Watch me eat, baby. So, Auntie, I know we have different views, and it's healthy to have different
Yeah, and
views.
guys, and I'm gonna tell you something. That everybody has to do what works for them to get them
I
to a
love
better
it.
place. They do.
Yeah,
I've done, and I'm just gonna be honest. As a scholar, I have done a lot of research over years about forgiveness. And I do have a different opinion of how forgiveness works. I agree that all of those things can make you feel better.
right.
I don't need closure because I gave myself closure. When I look back over the relationship, the way you treated, that was all the closure I needed. When I realized, guys, this person became a non-factor for me. When I realized what had happened to me, that's why I say I handled it different than a lot of people. I never went back. I never begged them to come back. I knew that I did not want to be in that situation, but I didn't understand the situation that I was in. I just knew that I didn't want it. So I handled it just a little bit different than a lot of people. When I realized that I couldn't, at this age, sweetie, I done been through a heartbreak. I done been through my first love. I've always compared every relationship's breakup to my first one because that was my first love. And I know how devastated I was when it ended. So I always have said, look, I know what happened when you get your little heart broke. You go have a look, you have a few weeks, you cry, you can't eat, you can't sleep, but in a few weeks or so, you'll be all right. Look, and I used to joke about, I probably need a good breakup. Maybe I can lose a few pounds. Y'all know how that go. Y'all know how that go. But baby, I couldn't shake this one. I couldn't get myself together. And when I realized I needed to go to a psychiatrist and a therapist, and I knew that I was sick. It wasn't it wasn't just something mentally that I was just emotionally broken. I was really your hormones get out of balance. Your chemicals get out of balance. That's why you can't manage your emotions. Baby, yeah. And then the doctor diagnosed me with complex PTSD.
Mm,
When he
mm.
first said it, I was like, I ain't never been in the military. I've never been in the military. And let me just tell you, it is really real. It is real. So yeah, that was all the closure I needed. When I realized that I had to go to the doctor, I couldn't sleep. You know, I could only sleep 2 or 3 hours in the night. So you can't operate like that for so long. And I have a leadership role on my job. I was falling apart. I had to literally take medication for the doctor to slow my mental down so that I could rest enough to try to get myself together to function to even get through the therapy. That's just how bad that trauma bond can be. This is not a normal breakup, and I realized that. I
Yeah.
realized that I knew something was wrong also because, guys, I've lost a child. And when my son died, I took myself to the therapist and told him something is wrong because I've been crying every day since this baby has left here. And I know there's grief is normal. I've lost lots of people in my family, because of age, I'm getting older. So I
My
understand grief.
condolences, by the way. My
Oh, thank you,
condolences.
sweetie. I understand grief. But so when my son passed away and I realized I had been crying for over a month every day, I went to the doctor, and the doctor gave me some things to kind of help me manage through, and I went to therapy. Um, I could not shake this for nothing in the world that's coming out of this relationship. That's how I knew that something was really wrong with me. At that point, he wasn't an option for me. All I wanted to do was get me better. That's the only. I don't want to discuss nothing with him. We ain't finna talk about nothing. We ain't finna do nothing, nothing, nothing. All I need to do is try to get me better because I had totally lost myself, and I'm sure some of you all have felt that way. So that's why I say, guys, I what people need forgiveness for, like you said, it helped you release. It made you feel better. You felt like you were taking your power back. I didn't need to forgive him to do that because when I realized what he had did to me, that was enough for me to take my power back at that point. What I thought was just a normal relationship and people growing apart or just two people, you know, not guys, relationships don't always work. I understand that. But then when you start to get in, pull back the layers, as they say, peel the onion layers back and think
Yup.
about what this person has done. He literally and maliciously set out to get me. He sat back, he plotted, he manipulated the situations to get me to be with him. And then when he did, he manipulated the entire relationship. It wasn't that, oh, I was just a really great girl that he happened to find intriguing and fell in love. No, that was never it. He had a plan and a hidden agenda from day one. That's what they do. These people do not love you. They don't. These people don't want to be with you unless you have something to give them. What are you supplying them with? And unfortunately, it's a hard pill to swallow. That's why you go through stages of healing because it's hard to accept that someone that you spent all of this time with, someone that you really love, the whole relationship was fake. It was a facade. You were the only one that was real. I told you I was having an out of body experience. It's like I was living in a matrix. I'm like, what do you mean? He ain't never loved, and I'm
That was
trying to,
that was
and
hard
it's
for me to
going
accept.
against everything that you've experienced, but
Mm-hmm.
then your mind is trying to comprehend what you're learning, and then when you really put it together, they're right. They're right.
Yeah. And you see what somebody put,
And
right?
that's
Yeah.
see, and that's the hidden, and that's what bothered me. So sweetie, and I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna deal with that for a long time. You will deal with
Yup.
that piece. Even though I'm to this point, guys, and I stayed no contact. I went no contact, and that was it for me. Other than having to deal with him through divorce, some basic things, closing things out. I don't want nothing to do with him. No, we don't need to talk about anything. No, you will never be able to apologize to me. You will never, ever, ever, never, ever, ever get an opportunity to grace my ears with your voice. Never, never.
Mm-hmm.
When I tell you I want nothing to do with this person, nothing.
Nothing. Yeah.
I,
I
I've always prayed, God, bring peace to my mind,
yeah.
heal my heart, and let me bear witness to the karma that they're gonna get.
I don't
But
even care about that.
outside of that, I will have nothing. I will have nothing to do with this person ever again in life. Never.
Yeah.
The other thing that I've added to that prayer is, Lord, I just want to be able to wake up. Y'all know how when you dated people back in high school, you don't even remember some of them people names. You don't even remember them. Oh yeah, you don't remember them people. That's what I want to do. I want to be able to wake up and don't even remember that he existed in my life. Like one of them old boyfriends from back in the day when I was about 16 years old. I can't even remember some of them jokers' names. And I want him to be a distant memory just like that.
I know the feel.
But
I
guys, one of the things that I do want to tell you, and I don't know how long your show is, sweetie, but one of the things I do want to
take
tell
the
you,
time that you need, Auntie. Take the
make
time that you
sure
need.
I'm going to tell all of you, make sure that you all make sure that you have a good therapist. I would love for you to invite me back and we could go through the different stages of healing. I can talk about narcissism, and like I say, from the level that I've experienced it. But my passion about narcissism is not the narcissist, it's to educate you on the narcissist and the behavior, but it's really about your healing. And
That's it. That's
that's
it.
where I am, guys. I have a TikTok platform. I don't know if any of you follow me or not. My platform, my information has started to change over. I talk about a lot of things, but at some point I want all of you to get away from talking about narcissism, because when you do, that tells me that you've healed from it and you can move on.
If yep.
And
Let
you all
Auntie,
should, you all won't stay the audience. It'll be some new people, because it's always going to be somebody that's gonna
see,
need the beginning
that's
stages.
the
I tell them
spirit.
every so often, I go back and I talk about things, because again, everybody doesn't know.
And someone wrote, Connie said, right? Hey, Connie. Connie said, Auntie, they get karma daily, minute by minute.
I
Okay?
know they do. And
But we want to see the
thing,
big one. I know you want
another
to see the
thing,
big
an,
one.
because, and another thing, guys, you you right, baby. That's all I'm gonna say. You right, they do.
They get
um
it.
because like I was saying, when you get to a certain point, one of the questions that I had, because I've gotten this far, I've been in therapy for over a year. When does the healing journey end? It doesn't. It really
You
doesn't.
see me, right?
It really
No,
doesn't. It doesn't end. You know,
it doesn't. It's because there's always something for you to grow and evolve from.
and I also think,
It's
because this is just for me, guys, the longer you've been with this person, after you've identified your issues in the cycle, because guys, that's you are part, like I said, you are part of the cycle. I had to go back after I swallowed the fact that this person didn't love me, that this person just was taking advantage of me, that this person, it was a fake, the whole situation was a lie. It was, after I was able to digest that, and then get past, try to understand what was my role in all of this, because I felt so horrible. I'm like, I don't normally get in situations like this. How did I let this happen? Then I had to go back and look at me. And
yes,
that's the next hard piece of your healing, is
yes,
to understand, why were you with this person? What made you stay so long? That was a question when I started telling my story. People would ask me, why did you stay so long?
right.
And to be honest, guys, I was discarded, because I would have never left him. I would have never
Wow.
left. I don't think I would have.
You were
I don't,
mentally gone.
but I wanted out. My therapist told me, I wanted out, because I had, even in my mind, I had said, oh, when this relationship is over, women that's in their marriages don't say stuff like that. I had already said, I'm going to date somebody a little bit older. The next man in my life is going to be a little bit older. My therapist said, yeah, mentally you wanted it to be over. I just didn't know how to get out, because there were
Right.
so many dependencies on me. You know, I had to sit back and wait for him to find new supply. And then
Wow.
the new supply that he found, and if even with him finding a new supply, he had to figure out if she, Auntie grade A supply, baby. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm a hard act to follow. He had to find somebody that he thinks can do all, could match some of what I did.
Right.
And I've already found out that she can't.
Listen. Let me tell you, with a
So
little
y'all,
grade
look,
A,
that's what I tell you. I also talk about the damn new supply too. I tell y'all, don't be concerned with the new supply. Don't don't because
don't get
and,
caught up with them.
and
Don't.
stop making her a person. She's not a person.
She's
He's not a
not.
person. No, she's not a person. All
Don't
she
get caught
is
up
new
in it.
supply.
Don't.
Baby, I can talk about that new
Don't.
supply.
They'll
Don't
get what's coming to them. They'll
it
get,
ain't even
like, listen,
sweetie. Don't even worry about coming to
don't even
them.
worry about it.
Don't even worry about. Hope that they can keep him occupied enough, and they turn out to be better than you, so that he will leave you the hell alone. I'm telling you, so you
Amen.
can get enough distance between you and this person, that you can get your mental faculties together, and see them for who they are, because that's why you go the no contact. You
Hmm.
need that time, so that your brain can kind of start balancing out, because it's been on this road. The human body is not designed to be in fight or flight mode for forever. And we live with these narcissistic jackasses for years. So your body has been living like this on the edge for I don't know how long. It takes time for it to calm down and to get back into a healthy state. That's why you go no contact. I I, I realized that when I was going through my healing. There's a reason why they tell you not to deal with these people. It's not just because, where you need to let them go and the relationship is over. That's not the only reason. There are medical reasons documented why you need to stay away from these people. You have to give yourself time to heal. Then you can start to see them for who they are. And see, and that's what it's like, you coming from under a spell. I look back, what I was going to say, guys, is that when I was talking about the healing, when does the healing journey end? Once you start to acknowledge your own issues, and again, you have to, because I had to go back and acknowledge mine. My issues stem back 50 years. 50 years.
Wow.
I had to go back and address some things in my life 50 years ago. Something that happened had me in this place with this person. 50 years later, that's a long time. And I was just fortunate. I was just fortunate enough that I hadn't ran across one of these people before, because I was prime. I was prime real estate for one of them, per se. I was the prime pickings, because of my own issues. Yeah. When you go back and you address your own issues,
Yeah.
that's when your journey continues. And one of the things that I realize even now, you relive the relationship. I have relived this relationship. You will go back and you will think about things at the craziest times, things that encounters that you've had with this person. You will be able to clearly see how they were manipulating you. Sometimes it makes me angry. It does.
Mm.
The things I go back and I think about conversations that we had. Here's one. Guys, in my healing journey, one of the things that I learned to do, because you come out feeling so broken and beaten and just lost and worthless, what as part of my healing and my therapy, I had to find something about myself that I like, because I didn't like anything about me. I didn't. I was destroyed. The one thing that I do like about me is that I love about me is I love my hair. During the pandemic, I decided to get my hair locked up. I was the lady that I wore $600-$700 hair weaves. I lived in Atlanta. I go to the hair boutiques. I was that person. But when the pandemic set in, I couldn't get my hair done, so I got my hair locked. And y'all know what happened when you go through the lock stage. The beginning of it, a lot of ladies wear wigs because it's not cute. And we call it the ugly stage.
The ugly
Um,
stage.
yeah, we do. But I didn't even. He sat down one day and said, "Oh, I love your hair." And it caught me so off guard. And I said, "You do?" And now that when it came back to my memories, I said, what the hell was he trying to get from me? Or what was he setting me up for? I had to try to think about it. I said, because I didn't even like my hair. So I know darn well I know he didn't, because I didn't even like it. This is what I'm talking about when I say you will relive the situations in a relationship.
The manipulation.
It will come back to you, because it was so fake. It's called ruminating. You will ruminate about things that went on in the relationship. And then when you operate in awareness, you can clearly see how they were manipulating the situation. And I could tell you stories, and I'm sure some of you all can match them. How they steal from you, um, move your stuff around.
To make you go crazy.
Yeah, because they make you think you're crazy.
To make you think you're
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. I have.
And they do it, and watching you do it, like money will be missing from my wallet. And I'm like, what? How is the money gone from my wallet? I knew I had
Girl,
money in my
shut up.
wallet.
Shut up. Because I was going to tell y'all this story. I had $1,500 that I put in a drawer. Now, he must have seen me put that money in the drawer. It was in the guest room in the drawer. When I went back to get the money, it wasn't there. I pulled the drawer out, took everything out, took the drawer out, because it's an antique dresser. So we're talking about real furniture that has a wooden bottom underneath the drawer that when it slides in. So I'm thinking maybe it fell behind the drawer. I know damn well it didn't, but I'm just going to go ahead and entertain it. So I done pulled the drawer out, baby. I done looked in every drawer now because I'm like, did you put it in that one? You sure you put it in?
That's
I done,
to make
I
you
done
go
tore this one. Now
crazy.
I'm looking all over the room. I know I put this money in this drawer. I'm trying to think, what happened? So finally, I needed the money to pay a bill too. So I tell him, I said, finally, I have to tell him, this money's missing. You know what he said? Yeah, that's what you get for you so busy trying to hide money from me. That's what he said to me. I told him, I said, I wasn't trying to hide the money from anyone. I said, I called myself just putting the money down in the house because I intended to da 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 da. Sometimes you have money and you don't go to the bank right away, XYZ, and I might put it somewhere because we might have people in the house. I told him, because I know there's no one in the house. We don't have no kids. It's just you and me.
Just
I told him,
right.
this is what I told him. I said, was waiting. I said, I don't know what I'm going to do. I said, because that money was mortgage money. I say it was for the house. I says, if I don't know how I can't cover it. I can't cover it. The money came back. The only reason that money showed back up
Because it was
was
for the mortgage. Had
and
it been for
and
something
he knew
else?
damn well he couldn't cover it. And I'm telling him I couldn't cover it. Yep, the money came back. Now,
But you
my
see though,
jewelry, I'm missing jewelry and stuff even right now.
but
Little
even though
things.
you were going through that, there was some part of consciousness there to know to say certain things. Like regardless of how messed up you were mentally, you were still able to say certain things to combat what he's doing, because his intention is to make you go crazy and to find a way to fulfill it, to replace it, to put it back, and to make you think that you're crazy.
Yeah, and not only that, but these people will steal from you because I'm telling you, in addition to making me think I was crazy that I didn't put the money there, he was. If I had not said it was for the house, he would have took that money and did something else with it.
I'm surprised he
He
didn't
would have took
take
it.
it. I'm
He would
sorry. I'm
have.
surprised he
We
didn't
gotta
take
had
it.
larger amounts of money. I tell you what, baby, Auntie got stories. I had
Girl,
$10,000. I had $10,000 to show up missing.
show up missing. They are sick, okay? They
Yeah,
are
these
sick.
people
And
were. I'm
guys,
missing jewelry even right to the day. Right now that we know we're divorced. As I'm starting to continue to go through things. Yeah, I've got a couple of pieces of jewelry that I can't find. I'm sure he's probably
listen.
could have gave them to the new damn supply.
Who
I've
knows?
heard that. I don't know. Look,
Guys,
I would
well,
hate to see this chick if she got on one of
her
my
wearing
pieces
your
of jewelry.
stuff, right?
Look, baby, because I'm gonna tell you.
Guys,
Let me tell you. I'm just be
mm.
honest. Auntie is a petty ass bitch. If I was somewhere and I saw her with my darn jewelry on, I would ease right over in the corner and call 911 and get police right on the set. Oh, no drama, no nothing. Just tell them that's my stolen merchandise and everybody
That's
go to
it.
jail. Yeah,
That's it.
yeah.
But you
I
see,
had
guys,
12K.
oh, let me
I
put
was
that
just
up
trying
for
to read
you.
some of the messages.
No, I could put it up. It's okay, right? But
Oh, she
guys,
had
you see,
12.
while
I
you're
know.
here going through these things, you see that they're people just like ourselves. Like we've been through this. So when we come on this platform, we are here to break it down. We're going in deeper. We are diving in and talking about some of the things. And some things might be simple, or it might sound simple, but it's the simple things that we've overlooked that caused us to be in these situations and to stay longer, because these simple things, they add up,
Mm-hmm. They
because
do.
the way for them to get to you is to mentally start to break you down. And the more they start to break you down mentally, they're making little inserts, and they keep inserting daily, constantly, several times throughout the days. So it might sound like it's simple money in a drawer, but if you've been with a narcissist, it's not just simply money being taken from the drawer. It's bigger than that. It's
And why
way
would
deeper. It's so calculated because they know that they're going to discard you. They know that they're going to get rid of you. They know their days are short. Even if it's 10 years, it doesn't matter. It's still short, because they know they cannot put on this show for the rest of their lives. They cannot go on forever. So their intention is, as much as I could get you crazy, steal from you to prepare myself for the exit if I don't find someone else in the meantime. So it might sound simple, but it's very calculated.
Yep.
They're very intentional, and they're purposely watching you suffer.
And he did in that situation. He watched, and now that what I say, you go back and you relive stuff.
You start to
He
relive it.
watched me paranoid as hell in that room, turn the room up. He knew there's nobody else in the room. And now that I think of, those were the signs. If I had not, I should have walked away then. Those are the red flags. But there's no one else in the house. Me, him, and 2 dogs.
Right.
So where did the money go?
The dog took it, ate it, and then spit it back out whole, back in the drawer, how it's supposed to be. So wait, so he thought that you were so crazy that you ripped this drawer upside it down now, didn't see it, but then it magically reappeared back in the same drawer that you done ripped down.
In the
same drawer that you done ripped down.
In the same drawer.
Because he wants you
now
to think that
when it reappeared, this is where I mean where the abuse comes in there, guys. When the money reappeared in the drawer, that was the red flag for me to get out of the relationship.
Like Connie said, they don't care. They don't care.
And then when they push you to the point that you feel like you want to walk away, or you get so angry that you're trying to walk away, that's when they love bomb you from you and reel you back in.
Reel you right back in.
Yeah.
Reel you right back in. They don't care. So if you guys are listening, we're here in the chat, but for you guys that are watching this on the replay, listen to this. Come in, join in our live and have our conversation with us, right? There's so much things that we can go into, but we have so much time to share this information with you. Come back. Join us. We are live every Friday night, guys, here on Healing Your Silence. We are live here, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come in, join the live. And I'm not sure if you guys are on TikTok, right? But if you guys are on TikTok, go ahead and follow Auntie on TikTok. I'll go ahead and I'll type it in the chat section here to go ahead and follow Auntie on TikTok. Could you just type it in the chat for me, Auntie? While
it's under Miss One Rich One, the same as my name.
Right?
Is my name on the screen?
It's the same name here, Miss One Rich One, right? So go ahead and just, if it's right here on the screen, guys. Go ahead and follow Auntie Miss One Rich One, right? If you are on TikTok, and I know one of our sisters here in the chat, Miss P, go ahead, because since we're talking about TikTok, we're just going to be really TikTok over here. I don't know if Miss P is still in the chat. She could just go ahead and type it in, or I believe it's Miss P in a pod, but I'm going to get the right spelling because I know it if I see it. Hold on. But the spelling, hold on. Let me get the spelling for you guys. So the spelling is right here. Miss P in the pod. So it's Miss MSP in the pod. So I'm going to go ahead and type it in really quickly, guys. Please follow these people on TikTok. Follow these people on TikTok. Miss P in the pod. And also Miss One Rich One. Perfect. Got it. I think I spelled it right. And I see that Shelly put it in there as well too. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Miss P. I so appreciate that. Thank you, Miss P. So, guys, if you're on, I know most of you guys already here on YouTube, and there's a larger communities. We have Shelly, Hario. I know Hario is on right now, right? There's so many others. I'm not the best at doing that. I promise you. Please do not feel bad. I'm not the best at doing it, so I don't get started doing stuff like this, okay? But let's put it in the chat, right, guys? Go on over to TikTok and check out Auntie's page, Miss One Rich One. Listen, She has some good gems on there. She has investment gems, different kind of stuff. She gets into it over there on TikTok. And I know Miss P's on
Yeah.
TikTok. I've checked her out several times on TikTok. And Miss P has some words of inspiration over there, some picker-uppers in the morning. So if you're feeling down and not sure how you're going to get your day started, listen, guys. If you haven't downloaded TikTok, you are missing out on a lot of fun, right? They have fun over there at TikTok World, y'all. Go over there, follow them on TikTok. Healing Your Silence is obviously on TikTok, but it's not about me right now. It's for my sisters right now, right? Sharing the love, and as we do this as a family. Auntie, I can't tell you enough. Thank you for tonight. Thank you
You
for
are
joining
very
us.
welcome. No, thank you for having me. Not only you, but your audience. Guys, I hope I did
We're
not bore
family
you because
here.
nothing I talked about this night was tonight was planned or scripted. I can tell you if I am if I'm invited to come back, I will make
What?
sure that
Wait,
my
wait.
communication and my topics will
We're
be
gonna
a
put
lot
hearts in
better.
the comment section right now to
Will be a
show you
lot
that
better.
you're welcome back,
When
okay?
I come back,
Look
I
at
will
the
have
hearts
a
in the chat.
specific topic to speak about, and then we will really get into the details about an individual topic. I would love to come back and talk to you all about healing because, again, I know your host is giving you all of the information you need on narcissism, the different types of narcissists, the behaviors and the characteristics of a narcissist. But what I want you to focus on after you get that information is because you can't just get it, what you're going to do with it. You've got to use it to heal yourself. I would love to come back and talk to you all about a healing journey and how to get yourselves to a healthier and happier place. I tell look, because I'm so passionate about some of the stuff you might see on TikTok with me. Look, they tell me, oh, you just a bitter old lady. No,
It's different.
I wake up every
This is
day. I
personal,
wake
you
up every
know?
day with this smile. I be trying to figure
Yep.
out what's wrong with my face. It's making doing this weird stuff.
The
I
healing
am
journey
happy.
is
This is the
beautiful,
first time
guys.
I can tell you. This is the first time I have been happy probably ever in my life. Because again, guys, I told you I had to go back and fix me too. So
Yes.
yeah, it's an amazing feeling when you get to this point. Because I realized my happiness is all because of me. It's not because of the ex, which I thought I couldn't live without. But baby, I'm doing it. And look, I'm doing it, and doing it well.
Doing it well.
Yeah, I never
Guys,
thought that I could live alone like this. So, yeah, I would love to come back to talk about the healing
absolutely.
piece to get you guys to a better place because I already know what the
Yes.
narcissist does to you. I already know. I want to talk to you guys about how you get past that.
How you get to the healing process, because what we do mostly, what I try to do is, because I know I have new people come in and different people, is that I'll touch on some of the things to educate you on the awareness of it.
And that's
But
so
before we
important.
leave, we always have assignments, kind of not really assignments, but I'll throw out questions that's now going to start the inward work, the healing work, the me work, the reflection work. So that's really what we do is I do it in a balanced way where it's not just here's information, go do this work. It's like, okay,
Good,
let's talk
good,
about what happened here. How do we take care of what happened there? And let's
very
move
good,
on. So we take
very
our time
good.
to just kind of, work our way through it because you can't dive in it heavy. You can't come into this strong. We have to understand that we're fragile. And some might not be on the level that we are
You're
on certain
absolutely
parts of the
right.
journey. So being mindful of that, I take this approach because it's love. And if you're going to do and lead with love, you got to be gentle. You got to be humble. You got to take it easy. You got to understand that not everyone can receive things and comprehend it the way how we think they can.
Right.
Some people are way more advanced and some people are not at a level where they want to hear that right now. But you know what I could do? We could talk about our experience, and
Oh
yeah, we
yeah,
could
honey.
relate to that experience. But what do you do next? I'm not going to stuck on our experience. We're not going to stay here forever. I want to know what. So since
Yes.
we've
And
talked,
how do you get back to being you? How do you get back
That's
to
it.
enjoying your your wonderful life? Oh yeah,
That's it.
yeah. Because guys, look, Auntie can tell y'all about the list too.
Auntie, we gonna save that for listen, Auntie, we gonna save that,
Ah,
okay?
yeah. We can talk about that
Guys,
list too.
guys, I'm
You
gonna
guys have
wrap
been
up
awesome.
tonight.
Again, thank you so much for having me
Thank
on, sweetie. And
you.
you look so beautiful on camera.
Thank you, Auntie.
You are
Thank
very
you.
welcome. Guys, thank you for having me. And until the next time.
Love you, Auntie. Just hang on for me for a second, Auntie. We're going to chat a little bit more. Guys, I thank you all so much for hanging out with me tonight. We don't always get to do this for such a long time, but your patience, your humbleness, your time is so valuable. But I want to make sure that I am delivering to you guys. I am doing what I said I would do. And that's what's important to me because we know what it's like to go through the journey. We know what it's like to get the experience. We know what it is like. But how do we go through the healing process? How do we really start to walk into this thing step by step? And that's because we have to go within. We have to dive deep inside and we have to take accountability for our actions. I love you guys so much. I so appreciate you taking the time to do this. We're in this together. We're going to win and we won't forget what they did to us, but we're going to make sure they are around to see us be victorious, to be on the other side of this, right? They won't watch us suffer because we're no longer suffering. We're no longer in that place and we won't be in that place anymore. Our minds is being renewed. Our strength is being renewed because we have things to do. We have a purpose and we have a destination. We have places to go. They're not going to stop us. They were a part of the process, y'all. And we're going to talk about that some other time. They are a part of the process in order to get us to our destination. So listen, they've done their time. Let them get out the way. Again, amazing night. I love you guys all. And I hope I was able to at least help you to reach a different level tonight because my job, my role here is to empower you to becoming your greatest self. And I hope I was able to at least help you to feel a little bit better than how you started. Just a little bit better. That will make me really happy. Guys, I love you all. I'm gonna put my heart on my praying hands in the chat and close us out tonight. Be blessed, you guys. Be blessed wherever you are going, wherever you are traveling to. Please, I hope that you guys travel safe. May God bless you, protect you, and keep you safe. Take you to and from your journey safe. Have an amazing night, my loves. I love you all. Be blessed. Thank you.